wanted to discuss a video of Trevor Noah's, one of his clips where he's looking at Elizabeth Warren and he's talking about how billionaires are afraid of her, and he's making jokes out of it. To be honest, I like Trevor Noah. I think he has a lot of funny material, but I want to highlight how he doesn't support Bernie Sanders in the way that he runs the show. There was another show where he played a clip of Bernie talking to kids, and he didn't show the full thing, and he didn't put Bernie in the best light. And to be honest, Bernie was someone that he could have chosen to do a similar clip for with these billionaires, but he chose not to give him that positive.
As the Democratic field gears up for the first big votes in Iowa and New Hampshire, everyone's focus has turned to Elizabeth Warren, Massachusetts senator and aunt who writes, "I love you" under all your Facebook pictures. Over the past few weeks, Warren has shot to the top of the polls thanks to her support among college graduates, Hispanic voters, and kids who ate lunch with their English teachers in middle school. But there is one demographic who hears Elizabeth Warren and immediately shits their Armani suits.
Newly minted Democratic frontrunner Elizabeth Warren, she has got Wall Street on edge, some would say in a full-blown panic. Headline after headline with ominous warnings about dropping markets, investors running scared from the prospect of Elizabeth Warren being our next president.
Some Democratic donors on Wall Street are reportedly threatening to vote for President Trump or sit out of the 2020 election cycle if the party nominates Elizabeth.
So understand in this clip that Trevor Noah is trying to make Elizabeth Warren seem like the progressive candidate. They are trying to get the progressive wing of the Democratic Party to abandon Bernie Sanders and go for Warren. They are clearly in favor of her.
Warren.
I think Wall Street, and especially the banks, have every right to be extremely concerned about a Warren presidency.
Look, I've got to tell you, when you get off the desk and you talk to executives, they're more fearful of her winning. I mean, I've never heard anybody say, look, she's got to be stopped.
Yes, Wall Street bankers are more terrified of Elizabeth Warren than they are of a surprise gust of wind. Oh no, my cocaine! Wah! Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. And it's not surprising. It's not surprising that the people of Wall Street are afraid, because Elizabeth Warren has proposed some of the most progressive financial policies in years. Things like breaking up the big banks, increasing taxes on the ultra-wealthy, and making it easier for normal people to join the Illuminati. That's like a big thing. Yeah. Some dude's just gonna come in like, sorry to interrupt the orgy, but what's the Wi-Fi, guys? My aunt's gonna love these pictures. Now, it's kind of hard to take the Wall Street crowd seriously. And not just because they still think Bluetooth is cool, but also because this isn't the first time they've predicted the end of the world.
Everything that Obama is promising is destructive to our economy and detrimental to the stock market.
I think the national economy is in for a bad thing if he wins.
If it's Obama, Larry, I'm scared for this economy. I'm scared for this country.
Numerous economists and business leaders, they are thinking the economy and the stock market will tank if Trump wins in November.
If Trump wins, you will see a market crash of historic proportions.
Yes, for both Trump and Obama, analysts claimed that the stock market would tank. But do you know what actually happened? The exact opposite. It's been going up for 10 years. Because you see, in many ways, the stock market is a lot like a penis, right? There are many situations where you swear it's going to be down, but surprise, surprise, it just keeps rising, and nobody knows why. You're like, dude, seriously? At grandma's funeral? I'm not controlling it. I don't understand why. It's just happening. So the 1% are clearly not excited at the prospect of Elizabeth Warren winning the White House. But according to these billionaires, they aren't just anti-Warren because she's threatening their wallets. No. They don't like her because she's also hurting their feelings.
The battle of the billionaires continues after Leon Cooperman was brought to tears yesterday on CNBC. Cooperman was and has been very critical of Elizabeth Warren's proposed wealth tax.
I don't need Elizabeth Warren telling me that I'm a deadbeat and that billionaires are deadbeats. The vilification of billionaires makes no sense to me.
People can not only see the emotion on your face, but hear it in your voice. When you talk about this, Lee, why?
I care.
You think that you can hear the passion in that guy's voice as he talks about Elizabeth Warren? I'd like to get a clip of him talking about Bernie Sanders. Understand that Bernie Sanders basically awakened nation to a lot of the problems that were going on in terms of campaign finance and pharmaceuticals, Medicare for all. These different issues Bernie Sanders has written extensively about in his book, Our Revolution. He has made a lot more people get involved in the political process and the political system. He's helped people to become more aware of class conflict, these different ideas that exist in sociology. I can promise you that the billionaire class is far more afraid of Bernie Sanders than they are Elizabeth Warren. I can promise you that, but you don't see Trevor Noah or CNN or any of these media heads or media groups doing stories like that. And I like Trevor Noah, to be honest. I like Elizabeth Warren. Again, she's my third candidate, but it's interesting that they choose to do this story on her, who is less progressive than Bernie Sanders.
That's it.
Wait, are you crying? You're a billionaire who's crying because Elizabeth Warren is criticizing billionaires? Would you like a tissue? Get the out of here, man. Are you serious right now? Let me tell you something. The only time you should be crying as a billionaire is when a ghost teaches you the meaning of Christmas. That's the only time. And I'm disappointed in this, I'm not gonna lie, because of all the things that ever made me want to become a billionaire. There's no, I wanted to become a billionaire because I thought the whole point of becoming a billionaire is that you never have to give a shit about money ever again. But these guys over here like, how will I afford to throw a birthday party for my yacht? But clearly, the 1% is terrified at the idea of Elizabeth Warren. She's the billionaire's boogeyman. In fact, she now even has a starring role in a new Wall Street horror movie.
Bernie's the billionaire's boogeyman. Not Elizabeth Warren, it's Bernie.
The year I turned 26, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was 3 shy of $1 million a week.
It's time for a wealth tax. Start asking the people who have gained the most from our country to pay their fair share. Just 2 cents. I do love that shit. I'm going to hell.
To be honest, the clip probably would be better with Bernie. Bernie has consistently been railing against the billionaire class, where Elizabeth Warren has slowly gotten more progressive over time. Bernie talks about doing a tax on Wall Street speculation. He talks about going after billionaires more than Warren does, and I'm pretty confident a lot of billionaires would rather have Warren elected than Bernie. But again, mainstream media doesn't want to give him a lot of attention. They don't want to give him a lot of effort. And they are owned by the wealthiest people in this country, the same people that Bernie criticizes, so it all makes sense.
So in talking about the video, it could have easily been Bernie Sanders who was in it. Understand, like he has said, that he doesn't believe billionaires should exist, even though his tax plan would still allow for billionaires. While Elizabeth Warren has said if someone is innovative and works hard, it's all right for them to be wealthy as long as they are willing to give back to the rest of society. Warren, throughout her political career, has received money from about 30 billionaires, while Bernie hasn't received money from even one. One billionaire tried to donate to Bernie's campaign. They tried to donate a couple $100, and he gave it back because he is aware of how that looks to populist supporters, to people that care a lot about wealth inequality. Neither of them are as bad as Pete Buttigieg, who received money from a ton of billionaires. Warren, she's only received 2 in this campaign, but throughout her career it's been around 30. If you like the video, go ahead and like it, subscribe to my channel and see more videos on history, politics, societal issues.